The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
I was watching an interview with LL. He was talking to, I think, Fat Joe. And he was asked the question, LL was asked the question, who would he do a versus with? Mm-hmm. And you can see him thinking like,
that's a good.
He's like, question. I don't know, B. You know how LL talk. I don't know, B. I mean, that's a good question. You know, he trying to throw names at him, Drake and all that. He's like, well, Drake is not the same era, so. Right. And he was just thinking and thinking. He's like, I don't know. I can't think of no one that would do a versus that would fit. You know what I mean?
Would fit, right.
So if Sickflo was to do a versus,
man,
who would he do a versus with? And that could be on the CHH side or mainstream.
Man, you know what? I could, man.
Because we talking about you gotta go bar for bar.
A lot of records, man. I do have a lot of records. I mean, especially from that whole CHH thing. Mm-hmm. Man, who? You know what? Nah, because he.
Go ahead and say
it. There's only one person that will come to mind, and it would be it just wouldn't be good for me.
Okay, it got good in a good way or good in a bad way?
I'll say in a good way, but it's the only person I can think of that has been on both sides, and that's Lecrae.
Okay.
Wow, I was thinking that.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only person. And that was the reason why. And I was in a room on Clubhouse with Lecrae about a week ago, and I didn't get a chance to say anything to him. And I was like, yo, I can't wait because I need to say this. Mm-hmm. There's a verse at the end of one of my records when I say, I love God when I spit, but I'm not Lecrae. And it was because everybody kept approaching me, new people approaching me. It's like, yo, you remind me of Lecrae. And I'm like, because I talk about God.
Yeah.
Like, Lecrae ain't the only person that talk about God. Right. But I kept hearing Lecrae. And I'm like, yo, y'all don't even know that I was in the game before that.
Right.
So to hear it was kind of getting irritating. And I always respected him. Mm-hmm. So it was like, yeah, I love what he was doing. But I also knew, like, yo, we were pioneers in this thing, like Gospel Gangsters, like T-Bone. Like, so we ushered in a move for people like, you know, like Cross Moving and us started around the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if they can say that in 93 they were doing it, but I know I was.
They were.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there you go. You have that whole thing coming into Lecrae, and then Lecrae realizing, like, yo, God is saying something different to me. Like, I can go this route and still reach people. Because I know my purpose and I know what I need to do. Like, I know that was what happened. I know it was like, I'm about to give you a larger platform because you're ready for it.
Right.
So for the people that was like hating on him, like, yo, Lecrae didn't, he didn't did this and that. I'm like, nah, bro, he did what God sent him to do. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And even if in that there were some missteps, that would have been on either side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Either side. But I'm glad, like, that's the only person I can actually think of. But the reason why I say it wouldn't be good for me is because I wanted to do a record with Tori Kelly, and he did it first.
He got that with her, yeah.
I was looking at her when she first started, like, her YouTube stuff.
Okay.
So I'm like, I want to do a record with Tori Kelly. Then he did it, and I was like, oh, man,
it's a hot joint,
bro. It's a hot joint. So at that point, when he plays that joint, I would be like, dang, bro. But I got some records, man. Like, if I go back to through my catalog, like, Ty and I got some stuff, man, from back in the day that is like, wow. I listen to it now and I'm like, yo, I need to go ahead and grab that verse and put that and bring that joint right up here.
Yeah. All right, so Lecrae. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only person
I don't know if I would have thought Lecrae for some reason. Are you saying that because of
the similarities? Okay. I could say that, especially the crossover.
Okay.
To me, that's the only match. You know. But then it's not a match because of his mainstream success, and I'm still coming out of the underground success.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't think of nobody else.
I don't know. I part of me wanted to say Corey Red, but it's a kind of a difference in terms of not so much of style, but also content.
Yeah, because Corey was always
he's like,
hood. Yeah, he was like the hardest conscious rapper that we knew of.
Yeah.
He made you think.
He made you think.
And right now,
it still makes you think.
Yeah, it still make you think. I'm in a space right now where I'm not going to make a whole lot of people think until after I get them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went back to the roots of hip hop. Like, what did we do in the beginning? We told you who we were.
Right.
And we bragged about
that. Yeah.
So I'm in a space right now where it's like I'm still in that incubation stages of coming into myself, letting people know who I am. And then after that, I'm just going to start hitting them with everything that's going to make them think.
Right. Okay.
Put some medicine in the candy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a process, man. You got to know how to work it, know how to do this thing. And some people just don't know, but I got my formula. I know what I have to do.
Right.
So when some of my friends that have been friends for a long time be like, yo, I want to hear the old Rick flow. Oh, cool. You were saying this and you were saying that. And I'm like, yo, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this. I know this game. Like, I wouldn't have had the successes that I have had. I wouldn't have the kids that I have that are doing what they're doing now. Like, so it's not like I know. Like, I went in one of these clubhouse joints, man, and the guy was like, yo, send us your music. So everybody send your music. And I'm just in there to support. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it just because.
Yeah.
So I sent the music. And the guy, it's funny because he thinking he's schooling me. You know, and he's like, yeah, Sickflo. You know, kind of like, he ain't look at the bio. He don't know nothing.
Right.
He's like, man, listen, man, you kind of made me feel some kind of way, bro, because you started off and you were killing it. And then you had this long break. Why did you do that, bro? And I'm like, I wanted to tell him what was going on, but I was like, I'm not answering this dude. I'm like, yeah, man, that's one of my new joints. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first times in a long time I did a record and I let the hook play out, the music play out, and not put a hook on it on purpose.
Gotcha.
Because I love the way it sounds. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I ain't putting no words over that. And if I did, I would just sample something.
Right.
But back in the day, we ain't had no hooks. We had cats just spitting.
Yeah.
And they'd talk over the chorus part. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Rakim.
Scratch over the
You know
hook.
what I'm saying? What we gonna do? Hey, man, we gonna go.
I'm about to go to my girl's house.
Right.
You go to your girl's house.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, man.
Pump the beat up. Count our money.
But we used to enjoy music, so I'm like, everything ain't gotta be formatted the way that we know music. So I've changed it up on that joint, and I just let the beat ride. And pay homage to the dude that made the beat for me. So
that's what's up.
Wu-Tang is good about doing that too.
Oh man, come on, man. I only off the top, I only know one Wu-Tang hook, and I can't even say it on the podcast.
Well, you can say that. Well, I'm gonna say two, but technically it's not Wu-Tang's. It's Method Man's, which is Cream.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Wu-Tang, but it's
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of the whole
I know
group,
you know
like,
Wu-Tang Clan ain't.
Right there you go. You know
Absolutely.
But that's the only thing I can think of off top. You know what I'm saying?
Right.